Welcome to Unlock with Daryl L. Davis. We back with an update with some news on TDCJ. But before we get started, we would like for you to like, subscribe, and share the contents of this video. Uh, and we thank you for following us in our endeavors or what we're trying to bring to the attention of the people regarding the TDCJ. We had two tragic uh, incidents over the last 48 hours or so on the Wainwright unit, which was formerly known as the East Ham unit. They had two East Ham. They had old East Ham and the new East Ham. But both of them are old. I'm talking about centuries old, decades old. Old East Ham is where Clyde Daryl was kept. He escaped from old East Ham, and he got together with Bunny, and they become the Bunny and Clyde show throughout Texas and Louisiana. Well, over on the Wainwright unit, we had a correctional officer, 27-year-old correctional officer that got into an altercation of trying to restrain an inmate, and for some apparent reason, he died. He was just 27 years old. His family is asking questions of how he could have died at work with this incident. Um, and it's several ways. I wasn't there. I don't know. I have been there. And when I see officers try to restrain an inmate, oftentimes they begin to beat on each other and begin to choke each other to get them out the way. I'm not saying that this is what this is what happened in that instance, but it have been known to happen where officers has been injured while trying to restrain an inmate, and it's not at the hands of the inmate, but at the hands of other officers. So we want to be mindful of that. Again, we don't know what transpired. We're not putting no bad information out. We know that a young 27-year-old officer lost his life on the Wainwright unit. And it's very sad when something like that happens because they are there to protect the inmates. Inmates have a way of behaving. Some of them misbehave. Um, but for the most part, the officers are there to not only to protect society, but to protect the inmate as well. From my experience down there, I have had a lot of officers that didn't know how to de-escalate situations, and in fact, they made matters worse. From my stay in the concrete jungle, I was down there for 18 and a half years. I like to say 18 years, 6 months, 3 weeks, and 5 days of my life. But that was a building block. Also, we had a man that was released from death row this week. Uh, he had spent decades on death row waiting on an appeal. His first initial appeal. And a death row inmate is housed on the Pulaski unit in Livingston, Texas. Uh, and I don't think I gave you the unit that the Wainwright unit is, the city that the Wainwright unit is in. That's in Lovelady, Texas. Not too far from Crockett and Midway and Huntsville. But the Pulaski unit is down there. It's in Livingston, Texas. It's down there on the other side of Lufkin. You got Diboll, Cartridge, Goodrich over in that area, Jasper, Woodville. That's where the Pulaski unit located at, and they have death row over there. They moved death row over there in 2000 after Martin Guru and that crew escaped over there. And I was fortunate enough to be able to go back there and visit a few inmates on death row. One of the notorious killers in the state of Texas, I visited him on death row. His name was Peter Cantu. Peter was a little Hispanic guy, real fiery. Didn't want to fight for his freedom. I guess he had made peace with his fate. Also, Thomas Miller Ale. I was blessed to be able to talk to him and pick his mind in the legal aspect of things. So being back there on death row without no movement, it's already a slow process. They don't get out to go to work. They in-house 23 hours a day, sometimes 24 hours a day, because they cannot come out because of staffing problem. So they don't even come out to take a shower most days. Uh, but this guy was on death row so long that the courts decide to just cut him loose, take him off death row. Uh, we're gonna stay tuned for that because it didn't say if they commuted his sentence to life or what. But nevertheless, it should be some litigation process moving on in that area of his case. He come off of death row, so his stay in that jungle would get a little bit better. Um, Not much, but he will have a little freedom to move around, and he just might be moved from the Pulaski unit to another high security unit, which there's several of them in the state of Texas. If you have any loved ones that's incarcerated and you need any updates on them, man, please hit us up. We want to be help to people that has loved ones in prison, people that doesn't have loved ones in prison that always had a curiosity about what goes on in that concrete jungle. We're here to provide that kind of information for you as well. Just make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, like, and share the contents that we present to you. We're going to always try to be at least 95, 98% accurate with the information that we bring you. A lot of times we may not bring you no names, but we'll put situations before you, and if you don't want to go research, we'll come back and drop names later. But we like to encourage people to go research, uh, to find out things for yourself. We share information with you so that you can go and research. Just don't take people word for what's going on in life. Just go out and research for yourself, find out. And I'm a firm believer of the word of God, right? I'm just childish and foolish enough to believe from the first word of Genesis to the last word of Revelation, it's true and correct. Can't nobody tell me no different. And I am a very hard man to convince of anything, right? But by the goodness of God, He gives me the wisdom, and He pours into me what He wants me to know at that time. And man, I just want to thank y'all for being a part of this Unlock with Daryl L. Davis, and we're gonna try to take this to different heights. We want to go into a few towns to not only talk about the criminal justice system, but how a lot of cities, a lot of towns are doing the citizens about not fixing their streets and stuff like that. We're going to try to unlock a lot of information with you. Just stay tuned and bear with us. We have a lot of content coming out that's being produced by Chakras Media Vault and DJ Juice. And we're going to shout out to our nephew, the Jukebox. Juice, man, we thank you, man. You've been a blessing to us, and man, we're on our way. We just thank God for grace and favor. Stay tuned to more information on the TDCJ. And we got some upcoming information coming up on the Young Thug trial. One of the Young Thug co-defendants have pleaded guilty. And what would this mean for Young Thug and his stay? Thug has been locked up going on 2 years now. I think about May will be 2 years for Thug. If anybody got want to know something about Thug, man, hit us up and let us know, man. Whatever you want to know about this in the criminal justice system with anybody that's incarcerated, especially around the state of Texas, we're gonna bring that to you automatically. But we want to share other contents of other people that's being incarcerated, being persecuted by the justice system, whether guilty or innocent, man. That justice system, it ain't right. It ain't right, and we're gonna continue to want to. We want to talk about it. You know, we want people to know about it. We want people to get intimate with that justice system, so you can see how it have been doing human beings for the last 35, 100 years, right? Because they said what it's been over 2,000 years since Jesus been here. So and they've been having incarceration since the beginning of time, and it was the justice system, just them, right? Uh, But once again, we're thankful that you was able to tune in and watch the contents of this video. And remember, people, be blessed, be encouraged, be uplifting, and always be polite to somebody. It don't cost you nothing. We out.